Hi everyone. So please don't mind the room I'm in. It's a super unusual spot. I'm in here because my kids are on summer break and they're in the other room playing and making a whole lot of noise. And I wanted to update you guys because it's been a while, so I thought I'd do that now. I'm currently 33 weeks. The last time I updated you guys, I was 22 weeks. At that time, everything was going good. It still is. There have been some updates. After my 28-week checkup where I did the glucose test, I was diagnosed with gestational diabetes. So the care has changed a little bit. So at this point, the doctors want to see me twice a week already. It started at 32 weeks because I was put on insulin at 31 weeks. I was doing good with my diet. I was able to control the numbers during the day after my meals with the snack and the foods I was eating, but for whatever reason I could not control my fasting number. It came out high every morning, so they put me on insulin shots. They wanted to put me on medicine, pills, but the doctor or the midwife that I'm seeing did inform me that the insulin or the pills will pass through the placenta to the baby, and I didn't really want to risk that, so I decided to just do the insulin pen. They gave a little pen that you turn to the proper units. At the moment I'm on 12 units. We're trying it out. I started at 6, then she put me on 10, and now I'm on 12, and it looks like I'm gonna go to 14 because my fasting numbers are still high, even though my regular numbers in the daytime are a lot lower. Like this morning after I had my breakfast, it was down to 95, and before, when I was on 6 units or when I was controlling it with the diet, I was at 139, 135. I stayed in the 130 range, which was good for an hour after a meal. But now it looks like the insulin is helping the daytime hours also, even though she told me it's only good for 12 hours in my system. I'm sure there's still some that lingers there even after 12 hours, but for whatever reason it's still not helping my fasting hour numbers, so I'm gonna have to up the dose again until the numbers go down. Other than that, the baby is doing really well. I'm on a twice weekly visit. This week is the first week that I'm on twice weekly. I had a visit on Monday with the midwife who monitors my gestational diabetes. She told me everything looked good with the baby. Right before I saw her, I had a BPP ultrasound. For those of you who don't know what BPP is, it's a biophysical profile, which they have to give the baby a 8-point score. Each field has 2 points, so they have to see her move, which is 2 points. They want to see her breathe, and by breathing they mean like a practice. They see that her diaphragm moves in her belly, so that would indicate that she's practicing breathing. That's another 2 points. They also wanted to check the amniotic fluid. A good level is also another 2 points. And then I forgot what the other 2 points were, but she got 6 out of 8 points because during that ultrasound she didn't do the practicing of the breathing, so I had to be put on a monitor where they checked to see if her heart rate is fluctuating. So every time she moved, they wanted to see a spike in her heart rate, and it did that. So she looked great, even though she didn't practice breathing during the 30 minutes that she was given. During that 30 minutes, they like to see her get all 8 points, and because she didn't practice the breathing, I had to be put on the monitor in the office for an NST, which is a non-stress test, and she passed that with flying colors. her heart rate spiked when she was moving, or it went up and then it came back down. So it was fluctuating like they wanted to see. She was moving really well. She was doing really good. So my only issue now is trying to get my fasting numbers down, which I'm hoping for the fasting numbers to look better soon, so I don't have to take too much more insulin. Other than that, everything else is looking good. My doctor did inform me that because now I'm on insulin and I was diagnosed with gestational diabetes, that they will not let me go past my due date. Given my record in the past, I've always, except for my first baby and the last one that ended in a C-section, emergency C-section from unexplained bleeding, and my first was a natural. I actually went into labor by myself at 38.5 weeks. Other than that, the other 4 pregnancies have been induced all past my due date. They're kind of hesitant on that, but because of the possible uterine rupture or the chances of it, they would rather me go into natural labor, and I think if anything they would rather me in like schedule a C-section again, a repeat one. But I really don't want to have another C-section. It's really hard to recover from it. It was a lot more painful than natural birth. Also, the fact that you can't move the first 24 hours, I was not allowed to get up out of bed. I just really didn't like all the restrictions that came with having a C-section. But of course, if that's what it ends up being, I'm okay with that. I have to do what's best for the baby. But as of right now, they told me I'm a perfect candidate for a vaginal birth or a VBAC because I've had it before and they know my body is able to handle it just fine. The only concern they have is the induction. They told me they cannot give me any drugs that help with dilation of the cervix or the softening. So she said the only medication they could give me is Pitocin for an induction. She also said we'll break your bag of waters and see how that goes. Hopefully everything will go smoothly. I'm actually very confident that it will because I've been induced before just by Pitocin. Of course it's not the same all the time, so I'm hoping it will end up being the same way and everything will go smoothly. Either way, again, if I have to have the C-section, it is what it is, as long as the baby is doing good. As far as getting ready for her goes, I have some of her clothes laid out over here. I'll show you guys right now. I have her bringing home outfit right now. I'm preparing to do her laundry in the next couple of days and put it away for her. I still need to get her a bassinet, and I don't have a crib for her, but she won't go in there for like 3 months anyway. She'll be with me in the bassinet in my room. Other than getting her the bassinet and getting her crib prepared, which I'm not in a rush for, we also need a new car. We have a Suburban at the moment. It seats 8, and we need to get a different car, and we're looking into the Nissan Envy. In any case, I wanted to show you guys her going home outfit and some of the stuff I've bought for her. And yeah, it's really exciting shopping for a little girl after it's been a lot of years. My daughter was born 7 years ago, and while I get to shop for her now, it's big girl stuff, not the little baby itty bitty like cute girl clothes that I get to get. But here are some of the stuff I got for her. So this is her going home outfit. It has the little pants and the hat, and it has the little shirt. I also got her a pair of shoes to match. So I got a really good deal at Carter's. It was $9.99, but it had 40% off, so it was only like $5.99. And my sister bought this for her going home. I also bought her some This one's I had from my other daughter, so they're from her, and then this one's also from her. This one I just bought at Target. Comes with the little pants, and that top is so cute because we live in Arizona, so it's really hot here when she's born. The temperatures are still going to be pretty high until the end of October or beginning of November. October is still in the 90s, and right now we're in the hundreds. Our highest record breaking was like 120 like 3 weeks ago, but we've had consistent high temperatures of 111, 115, 117. So it's going to be similar to that when she's born. And when I take her out, I don't want to put her in too much clothing because it could get too hot for them too. So here's another outfit. Here's one with the pants. I bought a lot of these on clearance, by the way, at Target. This one, and this yellow. These ones were not, but this one was on clearance, this flamingo one. This one was on clearance for like $3. It came with the little shorts. This one was on clearance. This one I bought at Carter's. And then I have a bunch of onesies for her. And then I have her sleeping clothes, I think they're called. I love these things for when you put them to bed. I was eyeing this one for like 3 weeks before I finally got it. It's so cute. I love the little princess tassels on there, and this little frilly thing over here, and these little bows on this in the where the buttons are. And then I love elephants, giraffes, owls, so I got a lot of those kind of prints. I thought this was really cute too. It's a little strawberry shirt. Or no, it's a sleeping pig with a strawberry hoodie, and it has a strawberry on the butt. It's really cute. And then I got her a bunch of blankets, some that I already had. And then I have everything ready for her there. I have some clothes there that my aunt got her. This is for later. That's like from 3 months and up. Those are from my daughters. They're hand-me-downs. Most of these are hand-me-downs from when my daughter was a baby. And I thought this was so super cute. I figured I could use it for like newborn photos or something, because clearly she can't really wear that and walk around all the time, or not walk around, but I can't take her out really wearing this all the time. And it was only $5.99 at Burlington Coat Factory. Yeah, super cute. It's really exciting being able to shop for a little girl again, so I could go overboard a little bit. I also bought her some of this for older, because she didn't have it, from Carter's, and they were on sale for $5.99 each. Thank you so much for watching, guys. If you have any questions, leave it down below and I'll get back to you guys as soon as I can. And I'll do a belly shot right now, and I'll insert some ultrasound photos at the end for you guys. Thanks, bye. I forgot to mention that as a result of my gestational diabetes, I've lost about 4 pounds since I found out, due to the extreme change in diet. I am the type that loves sweets. I craved sweets a lot this pregnancy, but because I found out I have gestational diabetes, I had to cut out a lot of the sweets. I cut out soda completely the day I found out that I had the diabetes. And I'm not a big carbs fan, so I don't like pasta, although I know sweets are loaded with carbs, but the typical carbs like white bread, pasta, rice, those things I'm not a really big fan of anyway, so I wasn't eating much of those. It was just mainly the sweets and the soda, I think, that would put my numbers where they can't be. So I cut those out immediately after finding out that I had gestational diabetes, and as a result of that, I have lost some weight. I'm actually happy about that. I'm hoping to continue the diet after the baby is born. This way I could lose additional weight. Also, women who have been diagnosed with gestational diabetes have a 50% chance of getting it throughout their life in the next 10 years. And I would really hate for that to happen. So either way, I have to make drastic changes to my diet. I have to cut back a lot on sweets. I have to not resume drinking soda. And also, very importantly, she said, add exercise to your daily routine. It helps the body process the glucose much better. So it makes your numbers favorable. And therefore, I've added about 30 minutes a day walking to my routine. And she said once the baby is born and I get the clear, it would be best if I do 4 to 5 days of intense working out. So I'm gonna try to do that. I don't know how much of that I could put in my schedule, considering I have my kids and everything else. Either way, I want to make sure that this doesn't come back, so I'm planning to take care of myself after the baby is born. If you guys are interested, let me know if you want to see how I do the insulin shot, also how I do my glucose tests. I have to do it 4 times a day. One in the morning when I first wake up. I have to do another one an hour after each meal. So breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And I'm supposed to have 3 snacks in between. I'm allowed to have 30 carbs for breakfast, 45 each for lunch and dinner, and 15 each for a snack. I try to stay within that range as much as possible. I can't think of anything else, so just let me know if you guys have any questions. I will be more than happy to answer them. Bye. Here's my belly at 33 weeks.